Hey, Denise. How you doing? I need to do some kind of gift for people who sign on first. Beers a go go. Hey y'all. How y'all doing? Are y'all in Atlanta yet? Beers a go go. Is that a secret? Maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. Sorry. Hopped Up Beer Blog has joined. Hello there. How are you? Where are you checking in from? Hopped Up Beer Blog. Okay. Tomorrow, Beers a go go. Awesome. Always Mon. Oh, Mon. Hey, you were first. What's up, Monica? How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. We need to catch up. We have so much exciting news to share with each other. Awesome. Everybody just put down below where you're checking in from. Hopped Up Beer Blog is from Cali. Thank you so much for joining today. Beautiful One joined. Hey, where you from? 2B1 Travel joined. Hello. My brother's in the room who is the guest for today. We're going to let him in about 5 minutes. I want to fill the room up. Hey, ATL Beer Maiden. Good to see you here. We got Cali. We got Florida. Marie talks about it. Hey, Autumn Lee is here. She ain't from nowhere but Decatur. But she's checking in from Atlanta. Hey, Autumn. Tampa, Florida's here. Oh, you're in Atlanta, Monica, with the husband. That's so exciting. So Monica's a newlywed. She and one of my brother's BFFs, just got married. And you look so beautiful. Let me tell you, you looked gorgeous, like a dream. I was like, Dad, JT done married up, didn't it? Sure enough did. You looked amazing. He looked good too. ATL Beer Maiden's checking in from Marietta. We call that Scarietta. But we know she's from Atlanta. She's from the South Side. What's up? Thanks for being here. Thanks everybody for being here. We got 10 people here. Y'all, don't forget to hit the little airplane, that little plane looking thing at the bottom of your screen to invite your friends. Let them know that you're on so we can have more people here. My sister's here, Mickey Fit. Rafi 0916 is here. Hey, where are you checking in from? Everybody just put that down in the comments. And also what you're drinking. What are you drinking? You know? Hey, wow, my sister says. I'm so happy y'all are here. Hey, Cast Iron Catering. Thanks for coming. This is going to be an exciting episode for me because we're talking to my brother, one of my most favorite people on the planet. He's just such a inspiration and so easy to get along with. We're going to have a great conversation about what it truly means to pivot. We've talked about that and used that word so much. It's probably the most used word of 2020 in the business community. And Rafi 0906 from Wisconsin. Nice. We have family from there. Oh, best friends on wine tonight. Awesome. Oh, good. She's going to the doctor in the morning. Good. Thank you very much. That's what all that good insurance is for. Anyway, so back to what we were talking about. Yeah, unprecedented, one of the most used words, and pivot. So we are going to talk about what it truly means to do that because Imari is one of those people who actually did it. So, and when I say actually did it, so I'm inviting him into the room right now. Negro, you ain't funny is here. That's the guy who was lucky enough to marry Monica. So congrats. I'm sitting up too high. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Hey, I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. I'm going to sit down a little. Okay, yeah, I was on a pillow. I was up a little
I'm gonna
hot.
sit up. I'm gonna sit up a little bit too.
I see you
Um,
sporting your shirt. What's up?
yes, all is good. It's one of the most comfortable shirts I've ever owned.
Man, let me tell you, that shirt was my best seller. My best seller.
Uh,
Speaking of shirts, I'm wearing a Beer Chick shirt. My friend Eugenia, who is one of my beer friends in the beer industry in Charlotte, y'all might know her as Black Beer Chick. She is a true advocate for increasing diversity and inclusion in the beer industry. And this was one of her first products that she put out. She just recently provided 100 scholarships for women who wanted to be a part of the beer industry by taking the certification that it's like similar to a Somm in wine, but in beer it's called a Cicerone. And she provided
Oh,
100 women with a chance to take that test or to get study materials. Like a fantastic person all around. So y'all follow her. Just a
big
good
up.
person.
That's my,
Good person. Absolutely, absolutely. So do you have your beer? I heard you already been drinking. Yes, isn't it
do
nice?
I have my beer? No, and I haven't been drinking. I was just trying to make you nervous because
That wouldn't make
I'm
me
such a,
nervous.
yeah, you've been knowing me for a long time, Jen, and if I get comfortable, that might mean I'm too comfortable. So I just,
Yes.
yeah, I said, nah, I'm not going to drink. I'm just going to enjoy this Japanese rice lager, which I have no idea what this tastes like. I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. So you have your glass too. Let's open it up and pop it. So
Of course.
Cast Iron Catering's on that Wild Leap IPA Volume 13. Yes, those are good beers. We're on a beer by Reformation, as Imari said. It's called Suki. It is their Japanese rice lager, and you can only get this beer at the tap rooms. They have 3 different tap rooms in Metro Atlanta. There's one in Smyrna, Woodstock, Canton. Make sure you go to pick it up there. It's a really neat beer. So it's not a style you hear a lot about, especially not in Georgia. You might be familiar with like Sapporo and some of those in Ichiban, some of those
That's
other.
Japanese. That's Japanese. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, those are Asian or Japanese style lagers. But this one is so special because they took plums and plum aromatics and brewed it. And it is just a neat beer. I'm going to pour mine. I want people to see just a
Yeah.
beautiful color, right? It is
Look there.
gorgeous, like a milky kind of
There.
pink color. Oh,
Yeah.
so nice. So nice. I take a nice smell, and it's in a 16 ounce. It's a big can. You could actually share this with somebody, but it's only
Yeah.
4.3%. So you may as well drink it by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I need 2 more cans, Jen, but that's neither here nor there.
This is one of those beers that you can make a really good cocktail out of. I
Mhm.
think my sister would like this.
Yeah.
It tastes like, I would say just like in some ways, you can tell that the base beer is like
Hmm.
or just a lager because it has that little bit of maltiness and a little bit of
Yeah,
hoppiness actually. But do you get any of the plum? I'm
I
trying to
do,
see.
and I'm actually pleasantly surprised because plum made me think that there's going to be some type of sweet infusion to kind of
Yeah.
soften it or make it more fruity
Yep.
to match the branding and the name. And I'm like, plum lager, just give me
Nah.
some. Yeah, I want some stuff popping, and this is actually really good.
It's really good. I would
Mhm.
serve this super, super cold. Rice lagers, any kind of lager, but specifically rice lagers, I think need to be served very cold, like 40 degrees, 45 degrees, right out the cooler. When you get it off tap, if they have it in Reformation, it's going to be probably the most perfect temperature it would ever be. Just to be a little geeky about it, you would drink this beer out of one of these Pilsner glasses. So this is
Mhm.
one of those footed glasses. You've probably seen these before. I had some of these in college back when I didn't know anything about beer. I was pouring all kind of beer in this, the wrong stuff. But you would pour this in a beer like this because as you see how beautiful it is, a
Mhm.
glass like this showcases the color. The
Mhm.
taper up top showcases the aromas you get from it. So you would use a Pilsner glass for this beer.
I have some at home, just like that. As a matter of fact, that
Yeah,
might be my.
it's not.
Okay. Okay.
They not yours. They ain't yours. And just
Ain't
to
that man?
Ain't none yours. And just to
Mm.
quickly say, so the food I would pair this with would probably be like, I think it'd be great with sushi, not to be so ironic, but it would be good with shellfish, sushi,
Mhm.
rice, any kind of, I think you could do a spicy dish with this because it's going to be super, super, refreshing and palate cleansing.
Mm.
But, I like it. I
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
delicious.
Shout out to
It's delicious.
Reformation for, giving
Yeah.
us this beer for this episode.
Yeah, thank you, Reformation. This is something I would actually try again and order if I was out. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep,
yeah,
yep, yep. The closest
fantastic.
Reformation brewery to us is in Smyrna. It's not that far. It's
Uh,
right on the Chattahoochee River too, out that way. Beautiful,
did you
beautiful
did you
brewery.
do an event there before? Hadn't I been there?
You have, if you came to me and Rashawn's release, the beer that we
Mm-hmm.
did in February, that peach cobbler
I was
sour,
there. Yep,
that's
yep,
where,
I
yep,
remember that.
that's their
Yep,
latest
because
location.
Yeah, they had the dessert set up over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Monica,
Monica too.
Johnny and Clyde's.
Yep. Okay,
Jonathan
I
and
remember.
Obasi. Yeah, Tiny Small says that spot is amazing, and it is. It is. I mean, all of their tap rooms are gorgeous. I went to the Canton location for the first time a few weeks ago. First of all, it's
Mhm.
really far. It's super far, but when you go, you can like make a day out of it because they have a huge patio. It's okay to be outside, social distance. You feel comfortable. And then they have this gigantic like screen, big screen TV on their lawn that you can watch. And they play the games all day Saturday. So
Nice.
anyway, y'all get to Reformation. And while y'all get to Reformation, we're going to get to this talking, son.
Let's
Get
run
to
this
this
mouth.
talking. So
Run this mouth.
no, I think I've said this enough times. Imari is my brother-in-law. He's been a part of our family. I like to call him my brother-in-love
Love.
because we are super, super close. We're, two big families that came together, and I think we kind of gelled together really well. You've been married to my sister how long now? Like 20?
We're going 19 years. We're going on 20 soon.
20 years. You may as well say
Yeah.
20. That's 2 decades. That is commendable to be a part of the Price family for 20 years. I'm just kidding. You're lucky is what I meant by that.
I was going to say it's actually an honor. Okay.
Thank you so much. And vice versa, because we love your family as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So Imari is married to my sister and
Yeah.
a fantastic guy. Give us a snapshot of what your everyday life was like before March 13th or whatever date that will live in infamy was.
It was the 13th. Oh, I know. Yeah. I know. It was the 13th. Well, I guess to just back all the way up to kind of highlight what my life was like and what I was actually doing. Years ago, actually 15 years ago, I started a company and a concept called Playdate, which essentially was it was designed to be an alternative to nightclubs, bars, lounges, and regular nightlife options that people had. So I wanted to do something different.
Yep.
And this game night kind of took off and became pretty popular in Atlanta. It grew quickly. I took on a business partner, and we expanded this thing into different cities. So for the first 6 years of Playdate's existence, it was all about developing a game night that was designed for people to just have a good time.
Yeah, and it was a good time.
It was a great time.
Yes.
I truly never understood what it meant to really enjoy what you do for a living and have that perfect kind of harmony between work and fun. Like that's what I did literally every day.
You played for a living.
But I played. I mean, I played.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
so
just to give people an idea real quickly. So you would walk into one of their venues, which, I mean, how many people would be there on any given night? Like you would have hundreds of people there. So if you could imagine, how many people at your peak?
We at our peak around the country, we were in 31 different cities hosting events once a month, and the average attendance was roughly anywhere between 600 and 1,200 people, depending on where you went. So in Dallas, in Oklahoma City, they were seeing over 1,000 people. And, in some other smaller cities, they were seeing, 400, 500, 600. But it was still just incredible to see that many folks sitting down playing Hungry Hippos and having drinks.
Right. So you would have games like Hungry Hippos, Uno, Jenga, Giant Jenga. I mean, anything you can think of, spades, dominoes. Then you would do interactive games like musical chairs with your own twist on it. You created an environment where people could just come and just kick back their shoes and relax and be kids again. And it was fantastic. And then that snowballed into even bigger opportunities for you.
It did. So my very first event, my wife Mickey and I literally carried 2 garbage bags of just old school board games and stuff like that up 2 flights of stairs to this little bitty space in Barley's downtown.
Barley's Billiards. Yeah.
And it was really it wasn't about money. It wasn't a business. It wasn't even me trying to be a promoter or a party thrower. I just want to do something different and put forth a little effort to kind of lay it out and invite people. Mm-hmm. It evolved partially because of the work that was put in, but a lot of it came from people wanting that different kind of outlet.
Yep.
So it grew quickly. Well, here's where it took a shift. After, the first, I guess, 4 or 5 years of Playdate, we had an executive, and you'll find this part interesting, an executive for an automotive company come out to one of our events. Her name was Crystal Wortham.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal had a great time. Yeah, I think you do. So Crystal had a great time at the event, and she came up to me and knew me indirectly through you and Mickey and you guys' circles, and she was like, "Are you Imari?" Yeah. So we had a quick chat, and she said, "Would you be interested in doing this, what you're doing here, for my company, which was Ford?"
Right.
And I was like,
little company.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Fast forwarding, they tasked us to take the playfulness and the engagement and the fun and the energy around what we did and infuse their company's brand.
Right.
Talk to people about the vehicles, the new features, the new models coming out, and do it in a seamless way that didn't feel like marketing or didn't feel like advertising.
Mm-hmm.
And we were fortunate enough to just knock the ball out the park.
Is that what they call activations in the industry?
Yeah.
That's all.
Activation. Yep. And activation is the actual event.
Okay.
But what we found out is that what we were doing is called experiential marketing.
Experiential marketing. Okay.
Yeah.
A vocabulary word for me. Thank you. All right.
Hey, it took me about 1.5 years to figure out that's what I did for
That was the thing, right?
So you guys are experiential marketers? I'm sorry. Yeah, sure. But once I, became more educated about the industry and about what we were doing and how powerful it was for our clients, then the money got good. I was like, oh, so you'll pay these people over here this money to pass out, free giveaways and say hello and try to get people to sign up.
Right.
But we will take over an entire convention and convert these people into fans of your brand.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you got to pay for that. You're going to have to pay.
Yes. Y'all got it. They got it.
Yeah. We evolved into a marketing agency called Timeless, and that just led to Essence Festival, Tom Joyner Cruise, Black MBA Conference, everything. Coca-Cola.
At the arena, at the Dome.
Everywhere. Yeah, at the Superdome. We did the car giveaway for Ford. Yes. It was just some amazing experiences and amazing times. All came through just the way it all evolved. So, I was fortunate. I literally did everything that I enjoyed doing and got paid to do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was major. It was major. And then let's talk about kind of how that changed with the pandemic. We're talking about events. We're talking about being around thousands of people, hundreds to thousands of people at a time. And then the pandemic.
So I was in the middle of developing programming for the Tom Joyner Cruise that was scheduled for this year, 2020.
That's right.
One of our larger events, and we had a few others lined up with one of our larger clients. And putting in a lot of work, working with the team to get this thing developed. And in February, there were talks about COVID and the stuff coming over from China. Just, it was hitting the news, but it hadn't gone crazy yet.
Right.
But it originated, at least from what the news reports were, it originated from the cruise ships. So I'm nervous a little bit, like, yo, that's kind of wild. I hope that doesn't affect us because we got a job to do.
Yeah. And
I didn't get too concerned until it got very close and my deposit check never came in.
Oops.
I'm checking for a check so I can pay bills, and it never came. And I kept getting these vague emails that were saying, well, we're waiting to see some things and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, hold up. What's going on? Long story short, in about, a 2-week window from the beginning of March to almost the middle, I literally saw $250,000 in business just disappear. Like it went poof for real. Like this has been canceled. This has been canceled. I'm like, that's crazy. So the pandemic hit, and from there, lockdown and self-quarantine and all that stuff took place, and I was in the middle of trying to figure out what am I going to do, because my business solely relied on, marketing, large events, conferences, cruise
gathering,
ships.
Right.
Yeah, sales, everything that I need to make money was affected by COVID. So I was like, okay. And I think that's right around the time I called UPS and was like, y'all hiring us. I heard y'all hiring. Is this UPS? How much y'all pay for?
Is this UPS? You are ridiculous.
No, but I thought I'll go away, Jen, and just
I know.
In the blink of an eye.
And I never asked you or my sister what the number was. I had no idea it was about $250,000 in revenue. That
it was over. It was about $265,000
to be exact, right? I
yeah.
mean, how much.
That was just from one client. There were other clients in the pipeline that I was massaging and other opportunities that didn't pan out because of COVID, but there was guaranteed confirmation around that money. So, yeah.
You planned on that.
Yeah.
And so then tell me this. So this happens.
Mm-hmm.
You are the breadwinner of the family, to be blunt about it. And
not anymore.
yeah, right. Also a man, and you're trying to make things happen for your family.
Sure.
You want to maintain a comfortable lifestyle. You want to keep it as seamless as possible. You have a son who's a senior in high school, and then bills and a wife and, all kinds of stuff, responsibilities. You were at that time, I don't know how long before that, kind of playing around with this real estate thing.
Yeah.
What was the timeline for that? When did you start your first acquisition and flipping of real estate? Because that then became, that's the pivot. That became
the move.
The move for you.
Yeah.
But how long before March were you doing a little bit dabbling in real estate?
In 2019, last year, I met a guy who is phenomenal and very experienced in real estate investment. And he's been doing just a great job of creating a mentorship program and inviting people to join his program who were serious about real estate. And I always had a little bit of a curiosity/passion for, real estate in general. And I've also known that many successful business people and entertainers and sports figures develop their true wealth through real estate. You know, even if they make great salaries as actors or business owners, real estate is kind of that generational wealth that people are looking for. How do I leave something to my kids? Real estate has been known to be one of those products. So I knew that, but I didn't understand the business enough to know what to do. So last year, I simply just wanted to learn more about real estate, and I started talking to, his name is Justin Giles, about, his program and, how do I navigate my way to kind of learn and show interest, and that led to me joining his program. And I began in a place of purely wanting to know. It wasn't about, I need to make some money, I'm going to get in real estate, I'm going to do this. I was like, I want to know how this works. So I started off literally learning how to actually rehab, how to go in and renovate a home from the bottom up. And while I have, minor or had minor skill sets around what to do with a screwdriver and a flathead and how to change, you know, a light, I didn't know how to renovate a house.
Right.
You know,
that's a different monster. That's a huge undertaking.
A totally different thing, and you can easily mess that up.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time shadowing people in the program, talking to Justin, watching videos on YouTube, getting hands-on experience, working with subgroups and smaller teams on rehab that they were doing. Like, I was just there to figure it out more so than make a shift. So when it rolled around and COVID hit and my industry was affected the way that it was, I didn't really panic. And it wasn't because I had a plan B or I had, you know, money stashed. It was because I just knew that everything was happening for a reason, so I had no reason to worry. 2019 was a rough year for me, for the family. Yeah. You know, we saw a lot of loss.
We did.
I experienced a lot of personal challenges, just, you know, quite frankly, just managing mental health and all kinds of stuff. Like, it was rough to the point where most people don't know that 2019 was the year that broke me. Yeah. Like, it broke me all the way down to the point where I had no choice but to either heal or not make it. And I had to make it, you know. I got family, you know. So when it all happened, the strangest feeling came over me, and the feeling was comfort. Because I just didn't fear the loss. I knew the money was gone. I knew the opportunities were changing and things had to evolve. My business partner he got laser focused on how to combat what was going on in our industry, how to get creative again and do this. And for me, I respected that, and people who were doing that, other entrepreneurs that were like, well, I'm going to go with this social distancing concept. Okay. I didn't do it. I was like, there's something else calling me, and I need to pay attention to it.
You know, that is so key, that you listen to the call on your life at that moment, because it could have been really easy for you to try to find a way to make the old job, your old career work, you know? Yeah. Which actually would have created a lot more effort for you, to be honest with you, because we see now, it being October, none of that stuff is really working. You know what I mean? And so for you to have the intuition to say, you know what, I'm going to just take this new direction. I have an opportunity. I'm just going to go in this new lane, even though it's new for me, is such a huge leap. And I asked you, one of the things I asked you in the pre-show survey was your life, and you said it gave you time to think about the future. And so this must be one of those things that you thought through. What do I want my future to be like? Do I want to still be doing activations, experiential marketing, or do I really want to try my hand at something totally different and maybe a little scary, but a challenge and something that I could really kind of grow into? As Mickey said, just such a courageous move. Is that kind of how you saw it? Like, this is
that part.
Yeah.
That part. Yes, that's exactly how I saw it. It was funny. I remember sitting on the patio, the front porch one day with Mickey, and this is like in the middle of everybody kind of quarantined. They got all their groceries and stacked shit away, and everybody was kind of in home protecting themselves and their families from this virus that was, encompassing the earth. And we were sitting on the front porch. And I told her, I said, isn't it kind of weird how beautiful the days have been, like, outside? Like, the sky was so blue, the clouds were white, the birds, everything was so pure, and the air was clean, and there weren't buses and shit running up and down the street, and the hustle and bustle was gone because nobody was working. It was crazy. But that peace that came with that told me this isn't the end of the world, and it's not totally bad. This is a moment that you can take to say, what should I be doing?
Right.
Where do you want me to go? What do I need? Where do I find happiness for myself and the people around me? And that's what I did. There were days where I literally didn't think about working. I didn't think about, well, let me get into real estate. I just sat there and just enjoyed some wine, had good conversations, looked at my family, counted my blessings, and was just good. Meanwhile, the mortgage wasn't getting paid. But I felt great.
Thank God that felt amazing. Thank God you're married to a Pilates guru who has a following of about 2 million people, and let me tell you, is the shit when it comes to Pilates. Excuse my French. Speaking about like the shift between those two industries, were there any parallels between experiential marketing, event marketing, and real estate? What did you take from your previous career, and putting your bag of tricks for real estate?
That's an interesting question, because realistically, I didn't see and still don't see industry parallels.
Okay.
Going from experiential marketing to real estate investment and rehabs and flips, no, they're very different. And the only thing that I pulled from one arena to the next is myself.
Wow.
I was my confidence, my personality, my happiness, my whoever the hell I am.
Yep.
If I get into juggling, it's gonna be, here go Imari juggling.
Yep.
It's gonna be about whoever you are. So the industry, I learned a lot in what I was doing. I had mentors the entire time I did business. I learned from Mark Ellis, and I learned from, and these are other business owners. I learned from Terrell Whitney, Will Packer. I learned from my business partner, Ryan. I learned from people around me all the time. And what I did is I took the benefit of having access to things that work in different industries and things that work with different strategies and apply them to just whoever I am.
Yeah.
So if I'm renovating a basement, I'm the same dude that was on the stage at Essence on a microphone doing some dances with, a couple of thousand people. Same guy.
You be yeeking in the basement with the sander?
I be yeeking in the basement. But in a sense, because I have fun. I everything I do has to have,
and that impacts your work ethic, don't you think?
Like
the attitude you bring to whatever job it is will impact how you do that job, how much fun you have at that job, how well you do the job, I think, at the end. Yeah.
You make the investments in yourself, and then wherever you go, your business, your opportunity, your lane, your industry benefits from who you are instead of the other way around. A lot of people are like, well, I need to go get a job in banking because they make a lot of money. No, you should get a job in banking because you're dope and because you can make the banking industry better.
There you go.
And if you look at it that way, then you'll never fail. You'll always find a lane.
So it sounds like also bringing purposefulness to your new career or whatever your shift is, not just looking at the bottom line or the red and the black, but like, how can I purposefully be a part of something new?
No reason to panic. No reason to panic.
Yeah, Rashawn says your industry benefits from who you are. That's a really good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And and it's not, let me make sure that I'm clear, because I don't want that to come across as a cocky statement or something that's self-absorbed.
Go ahead and
the clarity is that everybody has talent. Yes. Everybody has talents and have abilities that are unique and specific to them. And you can't be replaced by anybody who's not you. Mm-hmm. So whether you're a Pilates instructor that outshines everybody else in your industry, whether you're a beer connoisseur that has figured out how to introduce this to people that had no clue what the depths of that industry are, or whether you're a television, radio, multimedia personality that everybody freaking loves, you can go in whatever industry you want to and be you, and that industry benefits. So it's not about being cocky. Right. It's about investing in yourself and then sharing that with wherever you go.
Mm-hmm. And earlier, a comment that Reformation said was that you bring joy. You bring your joy into that space. And so I think that just
connects with people, and people want to know more about you and help you and support you, no matter what field you're in. I read this article, and if you're a subscriber to the show, then you get these pre-show emails that I send out. And one of the links in there is to an article from inc.com. And the name of the article is 5 Steps You Must Take If You Want to Break Into a New Industry. And there's a quote from here I wanted to read, and then I want to ask you a question on the other end. The quote says that changing careers or breaking into a new industry can be a daunting task. But guess who else started from scratch at some point? Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and, well, every other human being on Earth. Starting from scratch might be scary, but it is very possible if you go about it intelligently and systematically. I thought that was a fantastic quote. And I wanted to know, what were some key steps that you could offer people who are interested in moving into an entirely different career? Any advice you could offer?
I'll give generic advice, and then I'll give personal advice.
Okay,
if that's acceptable. Generic advice is, yes, don't be foolish, in a sense of wanting to go in a new career or new direction and not doing your due diligence. Mm-hmm. Figure out where the fit is. Figure out what you need to learn, how you need to be prepared. You have to do you have to do the work. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say, oh, I want to do this, so let me just jump in there. That fearfulness is good, but you have to be smart. You can't just
be smart about it. Yes.
Yeah. So when I made the shift and started looking at real estate, I didn't just run and bang my head on the wall 1,000 times to learn it. I studied. I was watching videos. I was reading. I talked to people in the industry, so I'd have something to be, something to hold on to get into that industry. Mm-hmm. And then on the personal side, I think that finding your happiness before you find your paycheck.
Wow.
Because
say that
some
again.
people, finding your happiness before you find your paycheck.
All right.
Too many people do it the other way around, thinking that when they find their paycheck, whatever amount of money that is, they'll find their happiness. Mm-hmm. I was one of them people. I literally thought that I need to make millions because I'm fancy.
I like nice things.
Nice shit. So, in order to have nice shit, I need to make a lot of money. So in my mind, the pursuit of happiness, it did start and end with money. But in recent years, I realized that that's a falsehood for me. I can't speak for others but me.
What made you realize that? Anything in particular? Something happened, or just maturity, or what?
I fucked around and looked at my life and realized that everything I asked for I already had.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like real talk, material stuff.
Okay.
Family, friends, the challenges, everything that I prayed for. Like one day I just want to drive a Maserati. I had a Maserati.
Yeah.
One day I want to live in a nice neighborhood, live in a very nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
I want a beautiful wife, have a very beautiful wife. All the stuff that I was planning, it happened.
Right.
So if you start looking at what you have, and I'm not saying the material stuff, I'm just saying what's in your life.
Yeah.
And
what brings you joy. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're happy, then you're halfway home. Whatever millions of dollars that you thought you need, do you really need it? Mm-hmm. And if you do, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not saying that I want to be broke and I don't want to have nice stuff, but that's not the end of my game.
Yeah.
I can live a beautiful life with maybe, another $30 or $40 a week from what I'm making now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's attainable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a couple new flips. That's a couple new houses. Yeah. Speaking of new houses.
Yes.
On your Instagram.
Yeah.
Did you just close on a new property, sir?
I just closed.
Are we calling you hashtag the property brother?
I'm the property brother.
Really? Is that a real thing?
Here's the funny part. I'm gonna tell you what's really, really funny about this. Okay, yes, I closed on a house yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So I'm gonna go in and do what I do, but this time I'm actually gonna document it so that people who are interested can see every step. every step of me tearing down a wall to renovating an entire kitchen or bathroom. I'm gonna show you how it's done, right?
A whole YouTube channel for this. We need that show.
Yeah. The second part is today. I got another house under contract.
Word?
In Southwest Atlanta. Yeah, so I'm doing 2 at the same time.
Whoa, at the same damn time. At the same damn time.
So yeah, I have another one, and there's another one pending that will probably come on board at the beginning of 2021. So I guess the thing that I found interesting is that it feels good to feel like, okay, you set your mind to do something, you go in that direction, you put forth the effort, you believe in yourself, all these things, and then it starts to happen, right?
Right.
So I dialed back, right, and said, you know what? Somebody asked me this not too long ago. You're going to think I'm crazy. A lot of people are going to think I'm crazy, but those who know me know that I am crazy. So this shouldn't be too much of a shock. And the question was, if you could do anything that you wanted to do, but you never did, what would it be?
Right.
And I answered it easily. I was like, act. I always wanted to be an actor. So the question came, well, why don't you? And then I was like, well, you know, COVID. I don't know. And then I seriously took that question, sat back, and asked myself, I'm like, how crazy would it be for me to, like, go on auditions, for me to do headshots, and me to just say, fuck it, I'm going to try to act? And I asked myself that, and I was like, that ain't that crazy, dude. You do crazier stuff.
You do much crazier things for free.
Yeah.
For the free whiskey.
And it is my absolute passion to entertain people, to be, 100%. You know, that's it. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to try my hand at acting. I'm still going to be flipping these houses and doing that. But you're going to catch your boy on an audition or something, and if I catch me a little Gap commercial, or if I wind up on somebody's little sitcom, or, you know, or if I'm playing, you know, second chair to Will Smith, so be it. Okay. It's going to go down.
I play second chair to that Joker.
Yeah, I mean, I'll sit there, you know, we do boys. Like Martin Lawrence. Oh, he got too fat. They brought in Imari.
Like, who?
Who? Co-starring.
What?
That's crazy.
Who that is?
But my point is, would I be disappointed if I try my hand at it and I go, you know, into auditions and they're like, you're whack, get the fuck out of here, and no, we don't need you?
So what?
Sure. That'll be just another notch in the belt of, I tried that, or I'll keep pressing until something happens. So I just threw that out there to say that the happiness part is where it's at.
Yeah.
That's just figure out what makes you happy, and it's gonna work out.
It is. How courageous is that, though? I'm so happy for you. And I mean, on all those fronts, on the houses, how many houses will this make for you? Because you've already done. Two, 3?
This is the third. So
this will be number 3. This will be 4.
This will be 4. Because I got 2 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so awesome. You're about to be busy, bruh.
Yeah. I can't see if the comments are still scrolling or not. I don't know what. Oh, there they are. Okay. You breaking up, Jen?
We're going to go into questions in 2 minutes. There's like a little.
Me, because Jan, I think you're going in and out a little bit. You can hear Jan, and if you can hear,
I think you need to go inside. Can y'all hear me? I mean, I'm not frozen. I see you kind of. Yeah, that was. I see that. But I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Now it's back. It's back. Oh, don't do that.
If there are
we back.
Yeah, my sister can hear me and you too. I don't know why you're in the car anyway. What car are you in? Never mind. I'm in the truck. Tell us that. But what do you
I'm in the truck because I had to go out of town because I'm also working on a state project in Alabama.
That's right. You're not in town. I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I didn't want to be in the places where I work. There was so much background noise and all that. I said, well, I'm going to just sit in the truck because this is my mobile office anyway.
Shannon says you're in her car. That's what car you in. But,
man, Shannon, sit down.
All right. They said they can hear us both. If there are any questions, put them down in the question box. Listen, so what would be like an ideal role for you? Let's get into that. Let's manifest.
Anything comedic. Anything comedic, because I mean, laughter has always been like the healing serum of the world for me. So
I agree.
Since I was in like elementary school, I used to get in trouble for making everybody laugh.
I bet you
Then
did.
in high school, I got in trouble for making everybody laugh. Then in college, I got in trouble for making everybody laugh. In prison, I got in trouble for making everybody. Oh my bad. Oh my bad. But laughter, comedy, anything comedic. If I have the opportunity to put my hands on it and be involved in it, I'm with it. So yeah.
So like, if you could choose, like you said, Will Smith as a co-star, but who would you want to work with if you could name, like your favorite actor to work with in a comedy? Who would that be?
In a comedy, I would love to work with. Well, you know what? Dave Chappelle's great on stand-up, but I've not seen him in movies.
You ain't seen him in like Half-Baked. He's not really a good movie actor.
I would like to do a movie with somebody wild like Will Ferrell.
Yes.
Like that would be ideal.
Be so good because he goes left.
Yeah.
And I've seen Mickey put that in the comments down low. She put the same thing you said, Will Ferrell. And I've seen you go completely left as well, to where you until you're annoying until you're annoying. Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, that's my job.
Yeah. Hey, here's a question.
Okay.
404 Global says, what are your thoughts on the return of investment of an undergraduate degree today versus your college days? How important and how purposeful and is a undergraduate degree today versus when we went to college?
Yeah, I think that there's a huge value to education, period, across the board, right? So when it comes to an undergraduate degree, from when we were in college versus now, I think that as long as you're investing in what that degree is going to do to enhance you, instead of you trying to find a career, it kind of links back to what I was saying before. Get a degree, but make sure that because you're paying for it with your time, your money, your focus, it's something that benefits you.
Yeah.
So that when you graduate, you take that wherever you go.
Absolutely. Now, I saw Miles check in earlier. That's your son, my nephew,
who
is a senior. He may still be on. He checked in very early. What advice have you been giving him? He's a senior. He'll be going to undergraduate school or college next year, which is crazy because I remember the day that Peanut was born. But what kind of advice are you giving him about career, about education, and how that leads into career choices?
I'm careful about the advice that I give Miles because I'm so impressed with his decision making and his path. Like what he's doing now compared to what I was doing at his age aren't the same. They're just not the same.
You can't give him no advice.
Don't be doing that bullshit I did like that. I never have. Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's not attractive or compelling to me, Father.
No. Yeah. Miles, but I do give him his advice because I do hope that I have some influence, positive influence in his life as his dad, where he's, going from one phase of life to the next, and he looks at me for whether it's just, seeing how dad moves or asking me, literally what should I do about X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
I try to lead by example more than tell him everything he needs to know. Yeah. Now, we have our talks, and when we go on trips and stuff and we chat, I leave nuggets, but I don't preach. It's not my style.
I neither.
I just say, stay away from them girls. So what's been going on? I just do stuff that I hope resonates at some point in his life where he can dial back and be like, I remember my dad said X, Y, or Z,
yep.
or when I watched my dad do X, Y, and Z. Because I learned a lot from my dad, but just from what he did, not all the shit he said,
yep.
but what he did. I was like, oh, okay.
Absolutely. That's where we pick up on those nuggets. Nikki wanted to know, is the pandemic affecting the real estate market? Is it a buyer's market, a seller's market? You see any sort of ripple effects from the pandemic? Tell us about that.
Currently, it is a seller's market. Inventory is low because people aren't moving as much.
Okay.
But there's suspicion that in 2021 it's going to change dramatically. There'll be a lot of people who weren't able to keep their homes or aren't going to be able to keep their homes next year.
Right.
And there were stipulations put in place to keep people from being evicted. There were stimulus packages, all that kind of stuff to kind of help levy that. But next year, it's going to shift potentially to a market where you can get property dirt cheap, where there'll be a lot of short sales, there'll be a lot of foreclosures, and that's why I'm trying to ramp up, my stock house of being able to take advantage of that, because 2021 can be a phenomenal year for people in real estate investment.
If you're in position to do that. There's another question from 404 Global. It says, what do you see on the horizon with social media in the context of personal happiness? That's a good question.
For me?
What do you see with social media? What do you see on the horizon with social media in the context of personal happiness? Maybe how do you feel social media could be impacting how people, how happy or how people sort of judge happiness or measure happiness?
Yeah, I've been very careful about that for me. I can't speak for other people and how they leverage it. Social media for me, at its height, for me it was about leveraging it for marketing and making connections and all the stuff that people use it for. Today, I've really backed away quite a bit. I'm more focused on what I would consider to be real life. You know what I'm saying? Like taking a 2-hour walk while on social media.
Multitasking.
That's kind of the balance. But my happiness is nowhere near tied to social media as I used to allow it to be. You know what I'm saying? Now it's great to hear from people. It's great to see these posts and these memes, but it's just a little light entertainment for me. But I think it's different for a lot of people. This is just me speaking about how I see it.
Absolutely. We have another question from Callie_Faith, who says, when do you know when you should jump and leave a corporate job that is paying for a comfortable lifestyle for something that may not be as lucrative? So when do you know when to make that?
I'm sorry, Jen.
I can still hear you. Uh-oh. I think maybe losing him. I hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep, now I can. I had to just be connected. I'm sorry. What was the question?
No worries. I'll read the question again from Callie Faith. It says, when do you know when you should jump and leave a corporate job that is paying for a comfortable lifestyle for something that may not be as lucrative?
Faith, that is a phenomenal question.
It really is.
And let me tell you, the reason that that's phenomenal is because I experienced that to some degree. And I've known other people experience that, where a comfortable salary or comfortable lifestyle that's tied to your corporate job makes it very difficult to say, well, I'm going to go start my boutique, or I'm going to go do such and such, or I'm going to do. And that is one of the toughest questions you'll ever have to answer for yourself.
For yourself,
for me,
absolutely.
For yourself. For me, it was simple. I was working with a startup company. One of my mentors started the company, and I was making a great salary and traveling and having a great time, and everything was great. Benefits were there, all that stuff. And when I decided to leave, I went to the owner, and it happened to be one of my childhood friends that I've been knowing since 4th grade, and I told him why I had to leave. And it didn't have anything to do with the opportunity. It was me deciding there's a freedom out there that I need to create for myself. And the freedom came from entrepreneurship. It didn't come from working for Chase Manhattan Bank or working for AT&T or working for any company. It came from me working for myself. And that freedom meant I can go to Miles, play in the middle of the day.
That's right.
I can take a day off. I can travel. I can do all this stuff on my own decision making. So for me, that made it easy. But for anybody else, they may be making great money at a corporate job and considering doing something else. If your passion is wherever that is, you got to take a chance on yourself.
Yeah.
You got to. That's the only way to do it.
Chanel said them benefits, that might make you stay. Them good corporate benefits, them 401k.
Yeah, but you know what?
Dental plan.
But they can also let
them, right?
go. They can also let you go. They can cut. They can do cutbacks. And it's not saying that you live in fear or operate in fear in any industry or any opportunity. You operate opposite with the confidence that what you're doing is right and it's going to work out.
Yeah. PCA Love says, how old is too old to take those chances? Because those are big leaps. How old is too old?
That's a great question, too, because that was the first thing I asked myself when I said, I should get into acting. With my old ass at 50. I'm 50 years old.
Yep.
I'm 48. I'll be 49 in January, so I'm creeping on 50.
You basically.
And I'm talking about, maybe I should go into acting. Man, you don't sit your old ass down somewhere.
They always need grandpas enrolled. They
always need grandpas.
Good-looking granddaddies. You know what I'm saying?
I could also be a sex symbol. I mean, really. Yeah, like. Me and Idris Elba and, a couple other action stars. No? Okay. No, Idris is about 48, 50.
Same age. Absolutely, brother. I'm messing with you. You can stand next to Idris. He ain't nobody.
I can stand.
British. He's just British. You can do a Decatur accent. That's
right. And I myself could have a British accent if I want to.
Let me hear it. Oh, that was it?
No. Oh, my bad. This is something in my throat. This is on my throat. I'm drinking Suki. I'm drinking Suki. Okay.
Horrible.
Okay.
No, but you're right. You're never too old. Never too old. That's the takeaway. Takeaway is you're never too old. Mickey called him Idris Elba. Rashawn said Grandpa with bank.
Wow.
Grandpa with bank.
Wow.
And your daughter Autumn is laughing. She just put in 5.
We want to clown. Y'all want to clown? We can put this on class, ma'am. The only time that you're too old is when you actually tell yourself that you're too old.
I agree with that. Full
That's
stop.
it. You determine that.
Full stop.
Yeah.
So we know what's next for you. We know you're going to be so busy. We got 3 minutes left, and I just wanted to know, how can people keep up with what you're doing? Tell us about how to follow the Property Brother, how to follow Mr. Imari Havard. Tell us all of your social media, your handles, and kind of how we can keep up to date with what you are doing, because you're doing so much. So proud of that.
So currently my most active social media platform is Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm listed under my name, Imari Havard, Havard.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing with Facebook is that I'm in and out. You can catch me on there under the same name, but I don't use it as often. So you might see me not post for a while and be like, he ain't even on here.
Yep.
But as far as what I'm doing with real estate, documenting stuff, videos, whatever I do, even in the acting stuff, if that begins to evolve, Instagram will probably be the way to kind of see what's popping with me, because I'll pop in and be like, hey, I got my peanut butter commercial, y'all. So we'll see.
So
but
at Imari Havard, as Mickey put in the comments.
Yeah, Havard.
Havard. That's how you can follow him and all the fantastic things he's doing. I wanted to thank you so much. I forgot that you were traveling. Thank you for making time. This was such a good conversation. You and I talk all the time in the barber chair because you fade my hair, you do my hair and everything. But this was such a good opportunity to chat with you and to share the nuggets that you share with me with other people. I want to thank you for being here.
Sure.
I want to thank all of y'all for coming, for being here today. I hope you'll join me next week. It will be on Wednesday, October 28th at 6 p.m. I'll be talking to Amy McCoskey, who is the owner of Round Trip Brewing. It'll be an episode for all you beer heads out there. And I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who's been following this with me and being a part of this. This has been therapeutic for me as well. So I normally get the little countdown thing, and it's not doing it. So it's going to go off in a minute. But
let me say thank you for having me, because I've been watching you put together the pieces around this, and I think this is a phenomenal thing. I'm honored to be a part of it, and I will continue to support you in everything you do, Jen.
Thank you so much. I love you. Be safe getting back home, and we'll talk soon. Oh, look, it's letting me go past 8. Maybe we started after 8. I don't know what this is.
I don't
know.
Did
they upgrade me to like another big account? Or maybe I got a blue check. They declined me last time I tried to apply for one.
Yeah, they're going to give me mine once I start acting.
Exactly. All right. Well, we'll call it a day there, because it's been an hour for all of us. Love you so much. Bye, cousin, beautiful one.
Love you, Jen. Thank you, everybody.
Everyone's here. Thank you so much, guys. Y'all have a great night, and we'll see you next week on the 28th at 6 p.m.
No doubt.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.